I remember when Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., went to deliver his first public speech from the back of a flatbed truck on, I think it's Mitchell Street Bridge right in front of the state capitol. Is that it? On the west side of the capitol? Yeah. And he made his speech. I recorded it on a wind-up tape recorder, an old tape recorder that you had to wind by hand. Then I took this audio tape back to WSB, put it on an editing machine, cut out sound bites or excerpts from Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech. This was about 4:30 in the afternoon, and I said I was going to make the 6 o'clock news for this. I made the decision. The announcer, we all communicated, and we knew it was coming up. It would be the lead story that night. And it was the lead story at 6 o'clock on WSB, the lead story at 11. Every half hour throughout the evening, it was, you know, in fact, this thing that had happened in front of the Capitol. Next morning, but by mid-morning the next morning, Mr. Elmo Ellis had gotten a telephone call. And he was from a very irate woman, a white woman, in northwest Atlanta. This woman wanted to know from Mr. Ellis, why is WSB putting this Negro? I used that word because that was her word. Why is he putting him on WSB? We don't need to hear that. And Mr. Ellis simply said, well, let me let you talk to our news director, Aubrey Morris, which he did. He transferred her in. She repeated the same thing, only she was a little bit more caustic. She was down the line in authority. Mr. Morris, why did you put this Negro on the air? And I said, because it's news. Because he made a speech in front of the state capitol. And somebody making a revolutionary speech in front of the state capitol, if that isn't news, what is? You tell me. She said, well, so we don't need to hear that. I said, what do you mean you don't need to hear it? She said, we've never heard this before. I said, well, you're going to be hearing a lot of it, if you want my opinion. Because you're going to be hearing a lot of it right here on WSB, because our job is to report the news.